Hi everyone, welcome to Natural Wonders. I've got a really nice painting to do for you today. I want to be painting on a black canvas, a winter scene. Something from my imagination, but something a bit Christmassy, I hope. So I'm looking forward to doing this one for you all. So I want to run the colours across the screen that you need to paint along with us on this one. And I'm going to get stuck in. So what we've got up here is we've got a straight black gesso canvas. And then I painted it with black gesso acrylics first of all. And then once the acrylics have dried, I've gone over with some linseed oil, purified linseed oil, everywhere all over the canvas. So I'm just going to get stuck in, start mixing some colours. So first of all, I want to make a little orangey colour, just for the horizon area. So for that I'm going to use some crimson and a small amount of yellow with that. Make myself a lovely orange colour. Very strong is the crimson, overpowers it. So it'll be an orange but still have a lot of red. Mix it really well so that you get it to exactly the consistency that you want. So something like that. That's what I was after. Right, just clean off the knife. Now, just here I'm going to mix another colour. I'm going to use phthalo blue and alizarin crimson. Proportionately much more crimson than blue. Much more. Got a couple of lumps in it, so at this stage you're best off taking any lumps you see in your paint, take them out, because it's not always perfect. And I just got a few lumps in that, so I'll just get rid straight away, then it's not going to be a pain when you're using the brush. So I've got this colour I've mixed with the crimson. The only way to check this colour is to grab a tiny bit of the white and just like mix it up here. See that? And that's a mauve, that's what I was wanting, a lovely mauve colour. Right, so I'm just going to use a 1-inch brush, good clean 1-inch brush, and then first of all I'm just going to touch it into this yellow, which has got a tiny bit of the crimson in it, but the very smallest amount. And then I'm going to touch some titanium white to that, just there. So it becomes like a nice bright yellow. Now just on the horizon area, just in here, I'm just going to apply some of that colour, just in strips. There, just on the horizon. And that linseed oil will immediately help it slip and slide over there. It's exactly what I'm wanting. And maybe we've got an area up in there. Just have this coming out like so on the edges. Yeah, that's good. Put a bit of that yellow in there. And then with that same brush I'll actually tap it out first on a paper towel, just to get the excess paint out of the brush. Tap it out on a paper towel, and then you'll still have a tiny bit of that left in there, which is fine. Then I'm going to use this orangey colour that we mixed with the crimson and the yellow. Just tap into that with 1 inch, and then just inside that you can put a bit of that orangey colour there. Trying to drag a bit of that into there, especially up in here. There. That's it. And then same colour, just going to actually put a bit in here as well. A good bright colour. Right, I'm just going to put that brush down for the moment, and I'm going to get some of this colour, but I'm going to get it raw. See that? And I haven't got a lot on the brush, just enough so that I can go up in here. You won't even see this colour at the moment. I'm just rubbing it in there dark so that it's all got some dark in this area at the top of the canvas. And it's when we mix the white with the colours we've just applied that you get the effects that we're really chasing. Right into the corners with this oil paint. Keep reloading. You don't need tons of colour, just enough. If you overdo it with the colour, it'll make your life pretty tough. Now just in the corners I'm going to use a bit of black, straight black, just on the edges where I want to darken that off a little bit. At the moment you guys can't see now, but this colour will come into its own when I put the white in there and give them some highlights and that. Plenty of that in there. See that colour blended in. Now you can also go back and forth. I can go back into this brush and get more paint on the brush this time, and then really put a lot more colour in that, just in there and in there as well. Just make it that a little bit brighter. And let that colour slightly blend up into here a bit. Right, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to use another 1-inch brush, straight titanium white this time. Pull both sides through titanium white. First of all, just in here where I want it to be a bit brighter on the horizon, and pull a little bit of that colour in. Same just in there. Same over all of this, and it'll turn a bit more peachy with this colour in it. There. Just by using this white in between them colours, it suddenly gives it that lovely vibrant effect that I was chasing. And then just up in there we can put a bit of that, but I don't want it to be too bright up in there. I want it to be getting darker. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to use a clean brush. I'm going to go back into that and just blend that out softly, just in there and around the horizon. Get rid of any streaks or anything that you've got in there and just allow it to blend. It's like you've got a cloud already with a shadow going on and you've not really done much. But I want it predominantly dark anyway, this painting, so what I'll do is I'll just take off the excess paint I just picked up and I'll get some more titanium white. I'm just going to use a bit more of that just in there. Make it look like there's some little stringy clouds on the horizon. Same in there. A bit brighter. Leave some light on top of that. Yeah. shape to that cloud now. Something about like so is good. You can always keep a big brush close at hand, and then you can just gently come back and blend over that. Picks up all them lovely delicious colours that you've put on there before. Right, so what I want to do now is use that same brush with a white on, take off the excess paint again, and this time I'm just going to use straight white, and it'll pick up this darker colour now, so I can gently apply a bit of that further up. See that in there, and I'll blend that out so that it mixes much better with the colour, because you see how bright that looks right now. It's not what we were chasing. As soon as you mix it there with the colour underneath, you will start to get more like what you're after, a flat, lovely colour. I'm just blending that in. Just little crisscross strokes, that's all you need. Want it very dark on the edges. See that? Up in there, very, very dark. And the more you blend this, the more it'll mix with the dark underneath. So it'll be darker and darker and darker. But have some movement up in there with these brush strokes. It's lovely to have that movement. And pull the colour that you're picking up here, the dark, back into this area again. So you don't want it to look really that bright, just in there. It wants to go from dark to light gradually. That's it. Now again, you could touch a tiny bit more white. Just put a bit of that just around in there. Tap it out on a brush again. And you can just blend that lovely and softly. They'll actually blend together. You get to blend together pretty much. Make it a tiny bit brighter there. Come between them two colours. You can actually drag a bit of that in. And up in there, just blend it to the lavender colour yet again. Just softly. It's nice to pick up this colour, darker colour, and just come back in here sometimes as you put a few little darker shadows. See that? It's like it's lit up on the end with orange. You haven't done nothing. You've done next to nothing. You can do them darker, you can do them with a bit of light as well. See that? Just pull a bit of lighter colour into that. It'll still retain that orange glow. A little cloud just in there. And by using white, you can just come right up into here. See that? And just use little tiny circles just in there. Put it on first of all, and then you can blend it afterwards. So you put that colour on there, having a big old cloud that comes right off the edge. And blend it quite smooth by just touching into it, just on the top edge. A few fluffy bits coming off of it too. Just use tiny little circles to just blend that. It's something about like so. Even just because it's really bright in here, I'm just going to touch and get a bit more white, and then just here and there I can just sparkle the bottom of that and the bottom of that, so it's just getting a bit of light hitting it just on the very bottom. So them shadows that you've used above really will do you benefit now, will do you a lot of good. You can easily just come in and just blend behind them. See that? Just gently tickle them. And by just tapping into it, it just allows it to just mix gently and subtly with that colour underneath. Again, you can just pick up some areas and put a little bit of white into that spot. Just a bit. Back to a blender brush. And sometimes just tap that out, just blend underneath it. And then again, I use the brush with the white on it. I'm just going to come up in here and put another cloud just up in there. Really just mush that colour in there. Allow it to mix with that colour underneath. Keep it pretty dark up there. Right, I'll go back to my clean brush. And I'll just gently blend into that to soften it. And then use the top edge and just gently blend into that. I'm holding the brush at that angle just to allow it to blend into there. Nice one. And up in here I want us to be able to see some stars and stuff like that with it being so dark. There we go. Now I'm just going to actually get a bit of white and mix it with that purpley lavender slightly and just tap into that, and then just into this cloud here I want to put a little bit of that hue, a little bit of that colour just into there. Get a bit more of the white colour to brighten it up slightly. There. Just blend into that. And then it gets darker and darker the further away it goes. Into the darkness, pretty much. Even in tops of them you can just tickle them with the top of that brush. So step back. Always good to have that step back and have a good look. I'm going to get a bit more purple and a bit of white. I'm just going to come back into this cloud here. I'm going to just highlight it. Make it a bit fluffier. And it can blend into that shadow. So you come back with a clean brush. just tap that out underneath there and actually tap it into that. And then the top edge again, just use tiny little circles when you're blending that. Just want it soft, lovely and soft in there. Cool. Now what I might just get away with is sticking another thin little cloud that's coming through in here. It's not a very big cloud. Just in between that. Using the underside of the brush to do that. Happy. Might just put a tiny bit of something over here, not a lot. Something about like that. And then again just use that top edge of a clean brush, which I didn't have then. Just use the top end of a clean brush and just diffuse it, just blend into it. And then nice and subtle one that's in the shadow area. Right, so I'm now back to my the mauve colour that I mixed. Both sides of a 1-inch brush. And with that, I'm just going to come in here. Now the colour will actually pick up a bit of this white. But that's not a bad thing, it just gives you the light that you need rather than having to put any light in there. It's already there basically. I want to make a bit of detail in there. These are little hills, little tiny rolling hills that I'm going to have on either side. And you see how I've picked up the light colour? And you can actually go in front of it then. So you use the dark in front of that. See where? Now that's behind this area. I love to do that. So I'm just going to put some stars now up in the sky. Just up in the top area. See? Just up in there.